Today we're going to look at importing ASCII files into SurvCE or SurvPC. For the purpose of this tutorial, I'll be using SurvPC. I've already opened the job and accepted the job settings. If we look at our points, we'll see that there are no points in here. We could manually add points, but we've been given points by our engineers and we want to bring those in to our data collection software. So I'm going to go to Import Export and import an ASCII file. You'll see at the top here we could import many different types of coordinate files. But for the purpose of this exercise, we're going to use user-defined, which is an ASCII or a text file. In the second line down here, you'll see the order in which the points are going to come in. We're bringing them in as point number, comma, northing, comma, easting, comma, elevation, comma, and description. We could choose from a number of different things, whether it was space delimited or tab delimited, whether it was east and north, several different orientation types depending on what we need. By far the most common is the point number, northern, easting, elevation, and description that's comma delimited. In the case of this file, I don't think I have any headers, so I'm not going to select that at this time. Let's go ahead and select a file and see what it looks like. So I hit my select button. One of the things that people often have a hard time with in SurvCE is to remember to navigate to where the file was stored in the data collector. The file must have been loaded up into the data collector using either Windows Mobile or ActiveSync in order for it to show here. The next question is, where was it loaded? In this case, my file was loaded under my username, my documents, Carlson SurvPC data, and we see it residing right here. In this case, it's also a text file. You must pay attention to this drop-down. If it's an ASCII file, a CRF5 file, a DAT file, an XYZ file, if it's anything that's not shown up here, it will not show down here. So for example, if this was set to ASC, you'll see those disappear and I cannot select it. But if I have it back at text, I can now select it and it's now an option for me to bring in. To navigate to a different part of your computer, you use the up arrow here and it allows you to navigate. So we're going to go ahead and bring in this samsog2.txt file. I'm going to click and you'll see here now it shows me a preview of my coordinates. Point number 1, northing, easting, elevation, and the description. By looking at this, I have negative elevations, which tells me I probably collected them without a geoid model attached to my GPS. But again, for the purpose of this demonstration, that'll be fine. There is no header, or else I would see a header line up here that said point number, northing, easting, elevation, description. And which points do I want to import? Now, I can import them all, and you'll see I've got 14 points in here. Or I could do something like simply tell it that I want to import 6 through 12. When I do that, it's now going to import those 6 points. I also have point protect turned on, so if I had any previous points in here, it would warn me before overwriting them. So now I hit my check mark and it asks me what job I want to put those in. I'm going to put those in my tutorial.crd job. When I do, it tells me that it imported 7 coordinates successfully. I said 6 earlier, but it is 7. And it kicks me back out to my main menu. If we go to points now, we will see that our points are in there. We could now at this time, if we wanted to, come in and we could edit any of these points. So I could select edit, and I could select edit and change them, modify them, do what I want to do to them to make them work for me. Well, that ends this brief tutorial on importing coordinates. I hope you find it helpful.